T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now tapped into the coolest reptile podcast in the world. I'm your boy, MJ. Welcome back to another episode of Trap Talk Podcast, episode 262. I had to fucking confirm that's a shit ton of episodes. What is good, everybody? If this is your first time tapping in, do your boy a favor. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. That way you're on top of every single podcast I drop here on this channel. Like shit, it's a back-to-back night. I have Rausch, 4 p.m. about to go down right now, which is, I mean, dude, I've been waiting to have Rob on for a long time. So right after Rob, then we have Brock Wagner. Okay, I'm not playing around. It's going down tonight. So many amazing things going on. So that's why it's important if you hit that notification bell, you're always on top of any podcast I throw out there, you know, like these back-to-back nights and shit, right? But do your boy a favor also, drop a comment. Let me know what you like best out of these podcasts. If there's something that stands out to you, I mean, dude, this is, I also take notes from you guys as well. So drop a comment. Don't be shy. I'm going to start being more nicer to the people in the comments. If you drop a comment, I'll randomly send you something. Like the homie Brian from Hatchery. Oh my God, how did I fucking forget his name? Brian. My brain is just Heath and Hatchery. God damn it. He's actually on New Breed on the Block series next Monday. The homie Heath and Hatchery won a sick ass REDLINE shipping package that I'm sending out to him next week just by dropping a comment. Okay, so drop a comment. Let me know what you guys are liking best. And yeah, man, I want to say appreciate all my subscribers out there. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spending your life with me. It really means a lot. I do want to say anyone out there who's looking for more content than what you see here, or if you want to support what I do, because I do this for a full time, a couple ways you could go about that, man. You could go down to the link below, become a Patreon member, join the Trap Talk Patreon family. Come fuck with me in the family. Once you become a part of the Trap Talk Patreon family, you get a link into the Discord with over 140 trappers in the building. You want to sell something, you want to buy something, you want to talk about something, you want to talk about a Bob Smith that tried selling you a 6 snake, whatever. We could talk all about it right in the Discord. It's nonstop cracking. I want to say all my Patreon members, I love you guys so much. You guys are definitely my biggest drive in this. I don't deserve your guys' support. I'll say that straight up, but I have it. And I'm going to do my best with it. And I'm going to fucking just rock this shit to the end. I love you guys. Thank you so much. And again, if you want to, you know, not only that, I also give exclusive content to my Patreon members, like the Soundcheck Chronicles, secret shit. You know what I'm saying? It's awesome. A lot of stuff to really catch up on. And yeah, just again, Patreon members, I love you. Other than that, go subscribe to my other YouTube channels. Here, you want to know something I just did that's really awesome? You could go to my website now. So head over to trappodcast.com. Okay, and if you go to my website, you will see that you could catch up stuff on the podcast. You could actually catch stuff up on the vlogs. You know, anything that you want to kind of tap in on that I got going on, you can actually see all this on my website. Okay, so just thought I'd make it easier for everyone to tap in with, you know, like my YouTube channels, you know, like my snakes that I have for sale on Morph Market. I also have a new website that's being designed for all my productions that are going to be available. So all that great stuff that you could find here at my website, trappodcast.com. I do want to say before we move forward into tonight's episode, this episode is brought to you by the one and only Cold-Blooded Cafe. Freshest and bestest rodents delivered to your doorstep, anywhere from the day one pinks, mice pinks, little tiny hot pinks, from mammoth rats to your doorstep. $30 flat rate shipping. #1 rodent frozen thawed rodent company in the game. I love you, Desiree. I love you, Steven. I love the entire Cold-Blooded Cafe family. Thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for providing amazing rodents for our beautiful children's, which is the snakes. I love Steven and Desiree. They're my family. And yeah, support Cold-Blooded Cafe. Please go over to their website, place an order, let them know MJ sent you, and you might get a sick-ass penguin drawn onto your box. Actually, everyone gets penguins. But guys, I am so excited for tonight. Look at our early birds cracking right now. I think the early birds are cracking. Oh my God, we already got a super chat. Oh, here we go. Let's go. 1776 Exotics, Big Mike, Trap Talk Patreon member, OG Patreon member, one of my first Patreon members ever to come a part of the family. That's my dog right here. 1776 Exotics, my boy Big Mike. Look at this. Adler, my right hand. This is my fucking my hitter right here. Adler, Serpent Eclipse Reptiles, my dog. Go give him a follow on Instagram. It's my boy. You want to talk about another secret hitter? It's my homie right here, Shane, Ricky Bobby, SRT, day one, all day, every day. That's my dog right there. Appreciate you, Shane. By the way, Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Adler, Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Wise guys, forget about it. Thanks for tapping in, buddy. Antonio Gonzalez. Okay, did you play for the Chiefs? Or is that the right Antonio Gonzalez? Am I tripping? Bro, I'm a Raider guy, man. I just want to know who you are. Let me know. Identify yourself. Just kidding. Thanks for being here. Hit that like button. Heathen, my boy, Brian, Heathen Hatchery, dog. I'm surprised. I'm so sorry I fucking forgot that name for a second. I will say that logo looks clean. Love that logo. Looking forward to chopping up with my boy, Brian, this Monday. Make sure you head over, set your reminder. New breeder on the block series. My boy is a savage, and we're going to get into it. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Also, look at this. Julio Fulio in the building. Trap Talk Patreon member. You want to talk about another hitter? It's my protege right here, dog. My homie Diego just cruised down all the way from Oceanside after he just worked all night, literally, and helped me get this enclosure built because I'm illiterate and I can't build shit. I'm not going to lie. I'm not good at building stuff. I'm really not. It sucks, but I'm good at other stuff, right? But my boy Diego came down and really helped me out. Hey, bro, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Go give him a follow on Instagram. It's my homie right here, Cruz Family Constrictors. I think he's come out with a new name. We haven't discussed it yet. That's my dog right there. So much. Thank you so much, Diego. I'll see you tomorrow. Jake Cole, Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Thanks for tapping in. Slithery Serpents. What's up, homeboy? Thanks for tapping in. Thank you. Dom, 702 Serpents, Vegas' finest right here. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Blake, Royal Bama Reptiles, Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Look at the homie right here. GSJ Chondros, Texas, Flexing Texas all day, every day. Thanks for being here, buddy. Brandon Hernandez, sickest homie with the bun, that's for sure. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Runyon Reptiles, back to back. Let's go. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Constricted Reptiles, Big Dale in the building. Trap Talk Patreon member. What is good? Look at this. The homie Josh in the building. What's cracking? Josh, South Bay Reptiles. This guy's energy is next level. If I could ever think of somebody who could outdo my energy and just keep smiling and doesn't stop smiling, it's this guy. This guy does not stop smiling. And I actually like that. You know, that's for me. I think I need that more, right? So my boy Josh, look at it. And he dropped a fucking sick ass super chat. Guys, any super chat you send me, I really appreciate it, man. If you got a question, if you have a topic, something you really want to ask Rob, drop a super chat just like this and I'll throw it on the big screen. Hey, Josh, thank you so much for your support. Appreciate it, man. Prolific Pythons. Aaron, what is up? Oh, Aaron Letterman. Dog, Aaron, what is up, dog? Prolific. This guy's sick as fuck. This guy is sick as shit. You need it. Dog, are you a part of the Patreon family? You need to, because I want you tapped in. I want this guy part of my Discord. This was a savage. This is Jacob's cousin, and I got to meet him, and he's no joke. He's full sick as fuck. Can't wait to see you at the next Trap Fest. It's going to be sick. Miggy, the Miggy Morphs. What's up, player? Mickey. Thanks for being here, player. I appreciate you so much. Golem Demons, what is up? Did I say that right? Anyways, thanks for being here. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Focus Cube Habitats. What you see here, my fucking family right here. Patreon members, obviously. Thank you so much. Love you guys. But also my sponsor. I appreciate you guys so much. Stephen Ashley. Seriously, two of the hardest workers in the game. And Sousa, I don't even know how I'm going to say that. I'm so sorry. Guys, we're going to get right into this, okay? I am so excited because, my energy's up there, man. And I hope I could pull this through to Brock, but it doesn't matter because I'll give all my energy to Rob right now. It's about Rob Rausch. It's going to go down because, like I said, I fucking met this guy, and I'm all about meeting people first. You know, I could really judge someone when I meet him versus off what I hear about him, but I heard about who Rob was after I met him. So I was like, holy shit, because Rob's energy, man, very genuine, very down to earth. And if he's cool with you, you'll really get to know Rob. And I've got to know Rob like that. And, but like I'm saying, I know how cool Rob is after, you know, I found out how cool he was. And then I found out what his position is, what he does in this fucking industry. If I feel like it's very important. Okay. We're going to talk all about it because guess what? I love Retics. I love him to death. This man was born to work with Retics, and we're going to tap all into it. So I need you to do me a favor, get your water or your fucking wine. I haven't eaten shit today, but I'm drinking. I don't give a shit. We're going in. Okay. Strap up. It's about to get hot. It's about to get heavy. Retic lovers, locality specific Python lovers. Here we have my boy Rob Rausch. Let's go. Gee.
Good.
You ready for do more in the future? Trap Talk podcasters?
Yes.
Man.
Only Trap Talk. Exclusive.
Yes.
Exclusive. Oh.
So stop calling us.
Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up, scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up, scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up, scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up, everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it.
Motherfucking Rob Rausch in the building. Look who it is.
What's happening?
I'm gonna say this for you just because I love you, but go Steelers.
Oh, hell yeah, brother. Appreciate that.
My mom's a big Steeler fan, and I know how big of a Steeler fan you are. So,
Yeah.
dude, Rob, what is up, dog? Thank you for being here. I'm so stoked that you're here right now, man. How you living?
I'm happy that you asked me. I was thrilled. When you asked me, I was like, hell yeah. Hell yeah, I'll do that.
Jay, I wasn't kidding on how much I loved your energy and how much I like how real you are, just like me in person. Like what we're gonna see tonight, you are who you are, like, right? And even in person.
Oh,
but I remember when I think it was at Garrett's after I did that episode with him. I'm like, bro, I want to fly out here and do one with you in person. You know what I mean? Because I felt like I always like the in-person episodes. But we'll get to either way. I wanted to get this in, and then we'll definitely do an in-person one because I feel like our energy is just off tops, man. But man,
fuck yeah, dude.
Great to be here. How's everything on your end? You know, I mean, for people who don't really know what your involvement is in the hobby, why don't you kind of let us know what you do?
So I was able to pick my own title name at Reach Out Reptiles, and what I chose was Master Breeder because that's what I do. I breed them all.
Wow. Now,
that sounded weird, didn't it?
But it's very Rob of you to say. I mean, so it does make you breed and you breed them all.
Breed
but
them
you
all.
know, is this like it's back in the teenager days? Like, I mean, is this something always part of your life, Rob? I'm curious. Some people are born for this shit. So has it always been like that for you?
Yeah, 100%. You know, I mean, I think I was 15 when I got my first snake. I'm 45 now, so 30 plus years. Or 30 years, just loving it, man. Just doing it, having snakes, breeding snakes, lizards, you name it. I've either owned it or liked it or bred it.
You know, like, I mean, I gotta say, man, maybe because I came into this at an age where I do have to be smart. I do want to keep it all right, but I can't. Yeah. And I learned the hard way with the Retics, bro. Like I got these fucking beautiful Retics at a small age. Half of them were supposed to be dwarf or super dwarf and bullshit. You know what I mean? They fucking got giant on me. But my heart hurt, bro, because I felt like I wasn't taking care of them how I should have, because I was cramming them in 6x2s and like I just not that that's a bad, like some people could do that. My Retics didn't like it. They were shoving. They didn't. It was really sad for me to see them go from a beautiful animal to like fucked up faces. You know what I mean? But you know, like, listen, I was not that guy to take my Retics out as much as a lot of you Retic lovers do. These snakes need to be let out. Like they need to be let out. And I'm curious, man. I mean, you got a niche, obviously, for the big snakes. You have a big snake, let's say that. And I'm not talking about that one, motherfucker. Yeah. But I'm saying is, you know, let's talk about when you got into the big snakes, man. Is it also teenager era, or what's up with that?
Yeah, I was building my first 6 foot by 3 foot by 3 foot cage.
Right.
I think I was 17 years old. Burmese pythons, absolutely love Burms, one of my favorites. And then back then they called them lemonhead reticulated pythons. I had a pair of those. They were wild caught. And I'll tell you what, man, you want to get your adrenaline flowing. You get a pair from back then, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, listen, like I got everything that was all bred within the United States. Imagine shit coming straight off the boat. Like, whoa, like that. Those are what kill motherfuckers easily.
Yeah, right? No doubt, man. You either know what you're doing or you bleed a lot. Unfortunately, I bled a lot.
Yeah, man, me too, man. I mean, obviously nothing compared to what you've done because you kept it going, but I took my licks in the beginning pretty quick because, you know, I went from, you know, shout out to my boy Kenny, cold-blooded only. My boy Kenny was the first one to ever send me a snake in the mail, and then he surprised me with the free snake, you know. Ooh. And I remember, you know, it's funny, dude. Like this is back right when I was like, oh, I'm getting a snake in the mail. I got to do a YouTube, and I thought right away I got to do a YouTube. So I have to. I will put this out, but this is 2017. I recorded this. Like, hey, I was like, I'm MJ. I got a box, and like you know, like I cut it open, and I'm like, you should see my face. How happy I was that there was another snake in there, bro. Like I felt like a kid, you know? And so I was just so happy that interaction with the Retic, man, there's nothing like a Retic. There's nothing like a Retic, bro. Like, and I don't even know where I was really going with that, but all I got to tell you is like the relationships I had with the Retic got very like sentimental, bro. Like I was like, this is something different. This is not a ball python. Like what the hell? Like this is life-changing right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, you know, these babies, like I said, I got so into it, Rob, where I found somebody who had a breeder male and it was a quote unquote dwarf. And here I am. I have nothing but babies, no females ready. And I get a breeder. I say, okay, fuck it. Let me get the breeder male. How do you think this guy came in, bro? Like I thought his back was broken because he was arching, but he was just like trying to fuck, you know what I mean? So I was like, and he was a monster. Like he was mean, bro. His name was Zach. I named him Zach Roloff. I'll fucking never forget this guy, bro. He gave my dad 17 stitches in his left hand.
No shit.
Yeah, he gave me nerve damage, but obviously I knew when you get bit, just hold tight, chill, don't. But my dad, God bless him, he didn't know all that, and this is back when I was still learning and growing things, and my dad had to feed. My dad when I had the big snakes, my dad had to feed the snakes. He loved feeding the snakes. It's like he got off on it. It was weird. So then when I had Zach after a while, he never fed Zach, and I told my dad, I'm in a rush. I got to take a shower. He's like, let me just feed them. I'm like, all right, they're right there. And these were live. I fed live back then. I'm not happy for it, but these were big live fucking rats. I'm like, Dad, just grab one by the fucking tail and just toss it in there. That's all you got to do. He's like, okay, I got you. Sure enough, I take a shower. I hear screaming. I go, what the fuck? And then my dad he's like, I need a towel. So he grabs my whole roll of paper towels. He's like batting his hand, and there's this blood splashing on my wall. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I was like, where's my snake? And I just run right past. Dude, I run right past him. I go straight to the snake like a dickhead. But I was like, "Is my snake okay?" And then I'm almost mad at my dad because I was like, what the fuck did you do? Like, and then he basically what he did was instead of grabbing the rat like I told him to, he grabbed the whole box that the rats were in, and he put it in the cage and try to because he didn't want to touch the rat. He was scared of the rat. So he tried to fucking and the fucking Zach came was like, what is this? And boom. And he immediately fucking went like this with his hand. Like he like ripped it off. And dude, that's anyways. So first year, that was my experience. And man, God damn it, bro. That's when I knew I was in too deep. I was like, dude, what are you doing right now? Like, and I freaked out, man. So anyways, I'm trying to say all this to let you know, man, I learned a lot, and I realized that maybe I'm just cool and not being a big Retic guy. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of work. You can't do it on your own. And I'm curious on how you do it all, Rob. I want to know what it is about you that loves the big snakes and why you keep them. And you know, for the most part, the stuff that you have at home, you work all by yourself, right? Do you have any help, or is it all you?
Well, since we've got the new place at Reach Out Reptiles, all of them except for my biggest snake, Karma, have moved over to the shop. We're in the process of building a cage for her. And I want to say the dimensions are something like 20 feet long by 10 feet deep by 8 feet tall. Okay. And I think that's a proper cage for a mainland. She's 18 and a half feet. About 200 pounds. So
say the numbers on that cage size again that you said. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. It's about 20 feet long, 10 feet deep, and 8 feet tall. It's actually a shipping container. Garrett went out and bought a shipping container. We cut it all apart, and we're in the process of welding it all back together and making that actual cage.
Wow.
Yeah. It's going to be fucking sick, man. We bought a Jeep. We're putting a fucking Jeep in the cage. It's going to be fucking crazy.
But I like that you said that, because let's talk about old school keeping, you know, like motherfuckers kept what they kept whatever they could keep in with what they had. Right. At what point did you kind of realize that the size thing like mattered to you? Like, I mean, was it after working with Garrett for a while when you started realizing, like, you know, as far as not only like the length, but like the height of the cage, you know, because a lot of people thought Retics weren't fucking arboreal, semi-arboreal, and they are. They will go in the tree easily. So I'm curious, when did you start connecting the dots with shit like this?
I actually started to realize that at a younger age, prior to getting with Garrett, that the industry standards just not for the big snakes. It's not what it should be, in my opinion. The bigger the cage, the better the snake is. You know, like I said, she's 18 and a half feet, about 200 pounds, and she has a shelf in her cage now, which her cage now is minuscule compared to the one that he has. It's 8 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot. So it definitely has the height, a little bit of length, but it needs to be a lot bigger than what it is. And she climbs on that shelf all the time. And the funny thing is me and my wife will be sitting here while watching TV, and the snake's down in the basement, and you'll hear her slide off of that shelf and hit the floor of the cage, which is concrete. And it's just like a loud thud. You feel it in the house, and you're like, oh, man. For a second, you feel like someone's breaking in or something. You're like, holy shit.
I mean, it's kind of like, that's why I do like being close to my snakes. And what I mean by that, like, I forget things, not because I'm a stoner. Well, actually, I'm just saying, like, there's times where I just forget to lock things or let things go. And if I did that at a facility that I'm like 20, 30 minutes away, and I won't find out the next day that this shit's out. You know what I mean? At least around here, I could hear things thud, and I could be like, oh my God, what's that? You know what I mean? And go get to work. So, I mean, but yeah, man, dude, talk about how these fucking snakes, if they want to get out of something, they'll figure it out. And you know, obviously, and if they don't, they destroy their fucking, they're destroyed. And that's the fucked up thing.
That's the part though that makes you think about it though, if you don't mind. Like when you see something like that, it's got to make you start thinking, like, what's going on? Why is this animal purposely messing itself up? Like there's something it's not getting that it needs. Right. And that's what kind of throws you down that rabbit hole of what do we got to do? How do we got to fix that? You know, because it's all about the snake. You know, if you love the snake, then you're going to take care of the snake the way it should be taken care of.
Well, I'm gonna pick your brain on something, man. Because as you know, I joined the Super Dwarf Retic Club this year. I got my first clutch. And guess what? She proved out Annery, bro. So remember I showed you the picture of that family or that the female, and you're like, show me the corner of I think you said show me the corner of her face or her eye, or the neck, and you were able to see some sort of yellow or whatever. You're like, dude, I guarantee she has it, and she proved out. I ended up hitting 3 Anneries out of that clutch.
Nice
visuals. And so, but what I'm getting to right now, Rob, is like, man, I'm so happy I got my first Retic clutch, but I was very wet behind the ears, they were very messy, spilling their water bowls everywhere. And Andrew Acevedo, shout out to the homie Andrew. He would, coming over like, dude, it's like, why are they so wet? What the fuck? And I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, so I want to say I learned a lot of things this year, breeding Retics and keeping them. But one thing that I'm noticing, and let's see, I have 3 that I held back, right? And they're in my rack. One of them flawless. The other one is developing a little bit, like you could see there's pushing going on, like you see like a little bit of lumps, right? But then there's the other one that has the lip pushing, like it's like so you have semi
like
the duck bill, you know what I mean? And so I'm curious. I'm like, fuck, I have them on paper. Andrew's like, you keep them too hot. I'm like, I don't. I keep them 84, and then it goes down to 80 at night. They're, so I'm curious what in your position when you see a snake doing that, or does that happen to you quite a bit with working with Garrett or even your own stuff? Like, how would you adjust something like that if you're in my shoes?
That's a great question. It's a question I get a good bit at the time too. With the babies, it's a couple of things. One, like Andrew alluded to, it's them being wet. If they're uncomfortable in any way, they're going to push.
Right.
feeding regimens. What's how often and what size are you feeding? The size of tub that it's in. Is there something that they can perch on and get out of the water if they do spill the water? A lot of different things. It could be one little thing, or it could be several big things. It's, you got to kind of go through and the process of elimination. So the first thing I would say to you is like you had said, what's your temperatures? Your hot side is 84 on the hot. What's your cold side? What's your variant? You know what I mean? Like, can they get away from that heat if they want to?
Right.
And then just kind of break it down from there. The more you pay attention to them, the more they'll tell you. And that's what I can't stress enough. If you love that thing and you're totally into it, spend time with it. See how it interacts. These things are freaking smart as hell, man. They will start to learn your behaviors. They will start to learn you, which can be good and can be bad, depending on the type of the snake or the attitude of the snake at the time when you're interacting with them.
I think that's where I'm dropping the ball, bro, because I am in a, I'm in a zone with my current productions. I don't fuck with those snakes. I don't need to. Like, I feed them, I give them the water, I take pictures with them. You know what I mean? But I feel like the Retic, the super dwarf, it's still mainland mentally. It's still fucking mainland Retic, right? So, and what were we just talking about earlier that I didn't do as a mainland Retic keeper? I didn't take them out enough. So I need to kind of put this mentality back to where, like, hey, you have this snake that needs to be out. Like, you got to let it fucking roam a little bit. Let it do its thing at least 3-4 times a week. You know what I mean? Like let it get, especially if it's not in a big enough enclosure. And I do know this, and correct me if I'm wrong, you don't want to put a baby Retic in a big out that you don't want to do right away, right? Like, they like confined places right out of the egg. Am I right? Or no?
It all depends.
Okay.
I think that you could take a baby Retic, super dwarf, and I'm talking like, Sharpie diameter size snake, right? And you could put that in a 6-foot cage, no problem. You have to have enough hides for it. You have to have enough crawling spaces for it. And I would just say, make it as naturalistic as possible. You know what I mean? There's no reason why you can't go like over the top with these things. The more that they can interact with, the more they're happy. They get to climb through the leaf litter. They get to try to burrow down into the substrate. They get to climb up on the, branches or whatever, PVC hides or whatever you want to do. Make it awesome. Put a waterfall in there. the big girl that we were talking.
You want to know what you want to know? I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. No. I was thinking what I saw at Reach Out that you showed me that you were doing. You put a fucking, okay, I didn't know what was in the tub, but there's all these like hides and like all this weird shit. And you're like talking to me like, yeah. And then you just put it in there. I'm like, what'd you do? He's like, oh, it's gonna eat. There's like, you had something hidden down there. And I was like, dude, that's so interesting. And sure enough, it's fucking like, it's like zooming. So, I mean, that kind of like working of the brain has to be good for the snake.
Oh, big time. They're a smart species.
Very smart.
I think
stupid too. They're stupid too.
They're just like us. There's some that are really smart, and there's some that are fucking stupid.
Right. Anyways, continue.
But yes, what I did was I don't necessarily believe in feeding live unless it's under supervision of some sorts, right? So what I was doing was I was taking babies and I was putting them inside of a container that had a bunch of PVC pipe with holes drilled through it, right. Bunch of different stuff, toilet paper rolls, paper towel rolls, and I throw a live, I think it was like a hopper mouse or a fuzzy rat, and I put one of those in there, and they'll start climbing around, and they'll leave a scent trail, right? And they're just climbing all over the place. And then you throw that snake in there, and that snake's like, holy shit, yes, I'm hunting. And that's what it wants to do. That's what it's made to do. It's an apex predator, it's made to go hunt something. It's made to, ambush it. It's a super predator of sorts. So by doing that, I'm intriguing the snake to be able to do what comes natural to it. And the way that they eat they just don't want you to feed it, that frozen thawed meal or whatever. Open the tub, throw it in, done. Open the tub, throw it in, done. They need more. They need some interacting, in my opinion.
Right.
And it's not like I do it every feeding. I'll feed them like that. It's just something to, let them have a little fun. Go hunt it down.
Yeah. And it's just noticing that though too, right? Like, because I mean, bro, ball pythons like intentionally don't want to be fucked with, and they're okay with that. Like you keep that thing in a dark, warm enough place and feed it and give it fresh water, and it is a happy snake. There's nothing wrong with its face. I have yet to see a pusher ball python ever, bro. But it's up to us to kind of connect the dots on that. You know what I mean? I think right away, because I think kind of what maybe created a little bit of the pushing was I was feeding my retics once a week, the babies, and Andrew was like, don't feed them once a week. He's told me to feed them once every 10 days. And I was like, okay. And I don't know if that adjustment had anything to do with it, because they're always pretty hungry as it was, you know what I mean? And I'm just feeding, you know what I mean? Like it's like at me when I was a child, if I wanted to eat, I would please feed me. You know what I mean? That's my mentality. But do you feel like I'm in the right, or is Andrew, I mean, not that, you're saying Andrew's wrong or right. I'm just saying, but do you feel like that's a wise move, doing the once every 10 days, even as a baby, or like, what's a preferred regimen with feeding with a small retic, super grow? We'll talk about the locality specifics for right now. I'm just curious.
So the rule of thumb that I tell people is once a week, until they're about 6 months. Once they hit 6 months, you can take it down to the 10 days. But here's the thing, like, there's no wrong answer there, unless you just quit fucking feeding the damn thing. Then that's the wrong answer. As long as you're feeding it, if you go down to 10 days and it doesn't push, perfect. Do that. If you feed it once a week and it's not pushing, leave it at that. If it wants a smaller meal, but more frequently. So, say the baby's the size where it could easily eat an adult mouse. Okay. And if you go and you feed it a couple of hoppers instead of that one adult mouse, maybe that's what it wants. Or maybe it doesn't even want the mouse. It wants the rat. Or maybe it wants a chicken. Or maybe it wants a quail. Or maybe it wants a reptile. Fill in the blank. You just don't know until you try those things. And I think the more variety that you give them, the more interacting that you do with them, the more you get out of them. You get what you put into it, right? Just like anything.
You want to talk about industry standards that I feel like are just getting murdered left and right. Like, and this is one I feel like that's going to change, is feeding diverse diets to every species. Like, you got to understand, nothing should just be on rats. I don't think anything should just be on solely, like, that's like eating McDonald's every day. I feel like that's like that can't be good. There has to be a diversity in something in anything that eats. I feel like, regardless in the wild, I'm sure they get majority, like, let's talk about like these ball pythons, right? Like ball pythons get, tiny rodents, but I'm sure they're eating lizards and other shit too. I'm sure they get what they can get, right? I think the future really holds a lot of people starting feeding birds to the ball pythons more. Anything diverse, man. Even the reptiles, I think they're disgusting. I've used them once and they're really gross. But hey, it's not me eating it, so I don't give a fuck. The diversity of things, man. I just feel like if I do like the breeding side, man, but I want to keep these alive. I don't want to breed them for 5-10 years and have them die. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what I want. They're not even here. They're not even asking to be bred, and I just rather do things, because listen, if it's all about anything we do, Rob, and one thing I bet you're proud about doing is passing the right example down, right? Like, especially everything that you learn, especially being in the position you are with Garrett Hartle, you retained and you're learning still to this day a lot of good shit. And I feel like you really get excited passing that down to certain people, if not whoever you can to. I see you talk to people and you just go off, bro. In a good way, you know what I mean?
I can't stop, man. Like,
yeah.
The guy who got me started was Brad McCarthy. I don't know if a lot of people know him. I think he's like the godfather to me.
Brad McCarthy.
He's like an uncle to me, man. At 15 years old, I went over to his house and I'm like, I want to breed Burms. And he was like, come back tomorrow. And I came back tomorrow and he was like, handed me like 2 papers, handwritten, exactly what the fuck to do. Temps, feeding schedules, the whole 9 yards. He's like, here you go, man. And I was like,
wow.
Really? Like, I'm nobody.
That was and that was unheard of back then, right? Like that didn't happen.
No, nobody talked about how to do that shit. Everybody was like, oh, I figured it out, but I'm not fucking telling anybody. And then they breathe the shit out of it and try to sell it to everybody. And then everybody else is getting them. And they're trying this and trying that and trying to figure it out. And yeah. So for him to do that back then was just like unthought of. And that's the mentality that I have. I will tell anybody everything that I know. I'm an open book, man. Ask me anything. And I want to be able to tell people stuff that I know. And I'm not saying that I know it all. I'm far from it. Tell me what you know. Tell me your experiences. Tell me what you've learned, over the days, months, years, decades, whatever. And, maybe we can come up with some new ideas together, because that's really what it's all about.
If I could be honest with you right now, Rob,
yeah,
it's not common on this podcast where retics are brought up in a lightened way, like in a good way. Like when retics are brought up, it's not, because I don't really, who am I talking to? I'm not talking to somebody who knows what the fuck they're doing most of the time. Like, that's why I like to have you on, you know what I mean? Or like, or somebody, like, that's why I really admire a really knowledgeable or respectable fucking big snake keeper, because there's definitely ways of doing things and not doing things. But I'm trying to get to a point here is I want to know from your eyes of where things are at, like what's the biggest problem in the retic world right now, you would say? And doesn't matter if it's super dwarfs, mainlands, I don't care, but what is it about the retic world you feel like that's not really damaging itself, but like what do you think that's hurting the retic world right now? And wait, listen, while you're talking about this, I gotta take a piss. I've been empty stomach all day. Oh. I can hear you. You can't hear me, I promise.
Damn it. So I think it's probably a couple of things. One, I wish we all could just get along. I wish that, we could put any kind of differences aside and just try to better the community and better the hobby. I think that if we took a different look at things, I think that we could have really big advances in husbandry, in interacting with these animals. And I don't mean just retics either. I'm talking about the whole hobby. I have mad respect for anybody who specializes in a specific thing and then can sit there and tell you everything you want to know about it. Like, you're alluding that I'm that. I don't feel that. I just feel that I'm just a guy that breeds snakes and got lucky enough to live close to Garrett, and he was looking for somebody at the right time, and I had some experience. So I just wanted to be more open. I wanted to be like, hey, let's just have a discussion. If you want to, case in point, you were saying that Andrew was saying, oh, back down to every 10 days. That's great. I don't know that I would have thought of that. And if it worked, awesome. What I find is people will put that on the social medias, and it's all of a sudden now everybody's jumping on, and that's not the way you do that, and that's not the way you do that. I stay out of all of that. I don't know if you've noticed or if other people listening or watching have noticed, but I stay off of that stuff. I don't like to get involved in that because I don't know. Maybe what they're doing in their situation is right. Who am I? Yeah. I don't know the whole details of it. I stay out of it. Yeah. If it's an educational and it's a mature conversation, I'm all in it. Let's do it. Let's have it. Let's get some of the big dogs out here and let's just talk,
Yeah. That's my biggest thing. My biggest thing is, and like I said, no names being dropped, but I could see the division in the super dwarf game and to certain people who just aren't really wanting to even hear others out. And what I mean by that is like they make strong cases in their eyes on these Facebook pages, but when I go to them, I'm like, hey, why don't we just have a conference? Like, why don't we just have like roundtable this? You know what I mean? And they never want anything to do with it. They don't even want to come on one-on-one. And I'm like, dude, like like, can we hear? Can we talk a little bit deeper about this? But I feel like nobody wants to get to the root of the problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like right now the biggest fuss, because I'm not really tapped into the mainland, man. I gotta say the mainland community is pretty fucking weird, bro. Like I had a really, and maybe because I fucking shortchanged somebody, no big deal. But like, yeah, long story short, don't ever bet me. But anyway, so I didn't give a fuck either. So, but anyway, so yeah, I was like, I'm not really involved with the mainland stuff. I do respect some mainland keepers and whatnot. I'm not involved with the mainland stuff, but the super dwarf stuff, very tapped in. I'm very like, eyes watched on certain things. And I want to say that the biggest fuss going on in there is like, stuff being labeled certain localities aren't that locality for one thing, right? But then also like, let's start with that. Like, for instance, Garrett and you very dialed in with everything you guys work with. You guys have everything serialized, everything has like stuff to track, right?
Yeah.
How do you guys think, not with what you guys work with, but there's somebody else out there working with certain localities, how easy do you guys believe that, okay, that stuff is genuine or that stuff is legit? I mean, do you feel like there's only a few names that really have some of this real stuff that's out there, like Slayer, Turnate, and stuff like that? Or, I mean, is it out there as much as it is? I'm just curious.
I think it's definitely out there. I'm not one to say that there's 7 of these, or there's 20 of these, or there's only 100 of these. I don't know. I think that when we were allowed to import, some importers, perfect, spot on, knew exactly what they were doing.
Right.
Just like some keepers, spot on, they know exactly what they're doing. Then there's the whole array of other stuff.
Right.
I'm not the type of person to say, yes, that is that, or yes, that is this. My feelings are, if it's a snake that you like and you've done your research and you can go back and see who imported it and what it came in as and yada, 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 and they said it was such and such, then it was such and such, no matter what anybody says. And if you don't believe it, then don't buy it, right?
Right.
It's that simple. Buy what you believe. If you believe that Joe Schmo down the street has pure Karampas and has been breeding them for 10 years and has been selling them like hotcakes, go get them. I'm not going to stop you. Because I can't, and quite frankly, I would be exhausted if I tried to stop everybody from doing the stupid stuff that things get done.
But how about this? What if it's your boy like me? Like, what if I'm not tapped into this game whatsoever? You and I met at fucking, I don't know, fucking play bowling or some shit, whatever. And I'm like, Rob, what do you do, man? And you're showing me all this stuff, and you're like, hey, man, here's some Karampas, and I'm like, oh my god, like, dude, okay, cool. And then I do some research, like, hey, Rob, I just found some Karampas, man. I fucking found them in Virginia. Like, and I'm curious. Obviously, you would tell me what you needed to tell me, but what would be your advice after that? Like, how would you guide me into the right direction into wanting to get into this game? If you care about someone, don't want them to get fucked. Like, let's talk about that.
Yeah. So, like, the first thing I would tell you is don't take my word for it. I'm one person.
Respect. I love it.
Right.
Respect.
It's something that I told my kids a lot when they were growing up. I said, when you're making a decision, based on how big of a decision it is, should base on how many people you talk to about that decision. If it's a life-changing decision, you should talk to everybody you know and get everybody's opinion that you value, and then make your decision.
Right.
So what I would tell people is, do your homework. Go out there, look, go check the snakes out. If you're spending $100 on a snake, then your amount of skill or amount of time that has to go into making sure it's exactly what it is minuscule. If you're paying $10,000 for a snake, you get out there and do your homework. And if you get fucked, it's only you.
Yeah.
Right? You only have you to blame. I don't want to tell people, by looking at a picture, what is that? I don't know. I need more information than that. I need to know who bred it. I need to know what bloodlines they were working with. I need paperwork or documentation showing that they were imported by this guy and this guy got them and bred them, and these are the grandbabies of that breeding. Like, I want to know all that stuff because I'm into it, right? It's my thing. Right. It's my niche. But if you're just looking for a pet, you don't need a Karompa, man.
Stay in your lane, bro.
Yeah.
All right, man. You brought up the Karompas. I want to say, I mean, I was a fan. Localities just get me horny, bro. I don't know what it is, but I just like certain localities. I'm like, ooh, what is that? You know, and then like it just gets more deeper and deeper and deeper. And so, for instance, obviously Kalatoa was my very first locality in the Super Dwarf game, and then Madu was the next one, and then what was the next? Anyways, it went down the list, and then the Karompas. Then the Karompas was the one that obviously was like the creme de la creme. Like that's like the one you guys wanted, right? What was the energy going into that clutch? You know, as far as like preparation and all that. I mean, were you guys getting together talking about it? Like, I'm just curious on what was happening with the Reach Out Reptiles and yourself during that that moment before that clutch hatched.
It was very quiet. We didn't talk to anybody.
Very, very quiet. Do you imagine?
Yeah.
I bet. Like, fuck.
I was like, hey, I hatched him. He was like, cool.
Really? That was it?
No, it was fucking epic, man. It was fucking epic. I think that was one of the drunkest nights I ever had.
How many in the clutch?
My first clutch of ever breeding Karompas?
Yes.
I want to say there was 12. This is going to sound really kind of fucked up, but I don't remember how many clutches I've produced now. I think it's in between 3 and 5.
Holy shit. But your first clutch was when?
Oh, that would have been 2019. 2019, okay. I think.
And that's when I discovered them, was when you guys were talking about it. Now let's talk about real quick the pairing on that, right? So those were F1 parents.
Those are wild cuts.
Wow. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Straight from the wild. And these, if I remember correctly, Garrett saying that these were somebody had these for a while. Like these were in the country for a while, correct? For a long time.
Years. Garrett was actually the first person to ever breed them in the United States.
Okay.
And I was the second. I'm okay with being the second.
Right. Now,
but yeah, it was
good.
From my understanding, Garrett had been looking for these for 14 years, I believe is what he has said. Found them, was able to acquire them, and tried to breed them. And if you've never tried to breed a wild-caught animal, there's a lot more that goes into that. If breeding a captive bred animal is like on a scale of 1 to 10, like a 6, then a wild-caught is like a fucking 20. Right. You have to watch everything, man. Like any little thing, and they'll reabsorb, or they'll lay a bunch of slugs, or you name it. Anything and everything can happen. Egg bound, there's a lot of different things that can happen. There's some wild caughts that I've been working with personally for years, we'll say, and still have never gotten a clutch.
Now it's just the wild caughts though, right? Because I've heard once you kind of get them going, like the actual offsprings of this clutch, it's a different ball game a little bit. Is that right? Or no?
Yeah. Okay. To a certain extent. I mean,
to a certain extent. I mean, it can still happen. Like, don't get me wrong, right? But as they're producing in captivity, it doesn't be like the wild type shit. Am I right?
Yeah, it's a little bit more predictable. Some of the things that you don't know with a wild caught is you don't know exactly what it's been eating. You're trying to switch it over in most cases because typically they don't have lab rats out in the island of Karompa.
Right.
I'm guessing.
I don't know. Just a wild guess. I don't fucking, they got some pretty expensive resources out there. God
rats
damn.
are good swimmers, man.
Yeah, no shit. Fuck.
So, just saying that there's a lot of things that go into it. And then when you actually do get them healthy and thriving, because you can't just maintain them, they have to thrive. And, as long as you, like I said, you pay attention to the snake going to tell you everything that it wants or needs. And as long as you're noticing those things and you're learning from those things and trying to give them those things, you'll be successful. And now, I don't think that matters if it's just like a mainland breeding or a super rare locality that nobody's ever bred.
Now, everything that you just said right now, as far as
everything,
everything, all of it, huh?
Ooh.
No, but overall experience that you have to this day just came off you loving the animal, and it just happened. Like for instance, you didn't really predict the life you're having right now, did you, Rob? Like it just everything just kind of gradually happened. You know what I mean? Like you're really put in a position where you're meant to be where you're at right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if we're thinking about people who are just getting into this today, it's a lot different. People can get whatever the fuck they want. It's so like, oh, cool, here's money. You know, people are like sitting on things that they're dying to sell now, right? But not everyone's meant for this, man. It's some people get so offended when I say this, but it is what it is. Not everyone's meant to keep reptiles. Just to the fact that you should be able to read your animal and see when you need to switch things up. Like you need to like, okay, hello, your snake's missing a face. What's going on here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm just curious, like what I'm getting at here is like you're definitely you're in it for the animal. Like I really see your passion behind what you do, Rob, because not only the way you talk about the animals, but just the history that you have with these things, right? But let's talk about the influencer side of things. Like I mean, shit, Garrett's on YouTube. I mean, I think he does a really good job. Shout out to Garrett Hartle, Reach Out Reptile. Shout out to Thomas, his boy Thomas. But what about the other influencers that are like on the sensational side of things? Bringing 20-foot Retics in front of strangers and just like that kind of thing. I mean, do you feel like there's a line that just like you could walk on, or do you feel like it's just unnecessary all around? I've never asked you this, so I'm curious.
As far as like introducing people to a snake for the first time,
or just no, I'm just because sensational stuff, right? Like YouTubers, like I don't want to give any names out there, but like just imagine the ones who do sensational stuff with big animals, like okay. and it's for the views, it's for like it's to shock people, or it's to like like, hey guys, today we're doing this, and it's like, whoa, what the fuck, like that's a big ass snake and those are people, like that kind of thing, like
someone's gonna get hurt here.
I feel like and maybe nobody does, but still, like it's like almost a matter of time, right? So it's like. And I'm curious how you see that influencer side of the reptile world and the ones that are biggest influencers in this game, I guess I could say.
So what I will say is, to be able to answer that question, I have to tell you a little bit about me. I'm not a drama guy. I don't care. You want to do whatever you want to do, go for it. As long as it doesn't affect me, I really don't give a shit. And someone, I can't remember who it was that said to me, you vote with your dollar. You vote with your view. I would much rather bring people to be watching this podcast or one of your YouTube videos rather than watching something like that, because that is endangering the person, endangering the snake. And it's
this whole hobby.
It's not something that I'm about, man.
It's it's destroying us as a whole. Like like, bro, like, man, it's kind of like people are just spoiling it for the people who don't want to put their animals on that kind of platform. But dude, it's crazy. It's crazy when they're making that type of money, man. And I feel like, I have certain ways, and I feel like the only person that could ever want to change someone is themselves. So what I'm saying is, like, there's things that I realize that I want to change because I'm realizing it myself. No one the fuck else is going to tell me how to change. I know I got to tell myself how to change, but the money can make people change, man. I can tell you that, man. Money can make people be like, well, fuck everyone. You know what I mean? Like, and honestly, I've always made money like that, man. I made money like that as a kid, like, 19 years old, making almost $100,000 at Verizon, on top of selling drugs. Like, I made a lot of money, and I felt like I didn't fucking need nobody. And I kind of almost messed with my standards because I just treated people like shit, and the thing is, like, money could change people, right? And mind you, I went dead broke, hit rock bottom, lost every dollar. I was living on my sister's couch, so I had that taste of just not having anything, and it was a rude awakening, right? But I think everyone has a story. I don't need to tell mine, but I'm curious.
I'm loving it though, brother.
No, I'm just, wait, what were we just saying right now before I fucking went on that? What we're talking about? Wait, hold on. We were talking about.
You're gonna ask two potheads what just happened.
I did this once. I do this once a show, bro. We're just talking about. Oh, money changes you. Money changes.
Oh,
you.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. Woo! Got him. I always fucking lasso it back, baby.
Hell yeah, brother.
So yeah, the money, right? So like, I feel like a lot of people who are very on these YouTubers' asses don't understand the kind of money they're making. You know what I mean? And that just changes
money too.
I just feel like it just changes everything, bro. Like, and like, some people nothing against them. They never touch real money. They don't fucking they're happy with their 9-to-5 job and I'm sorry, but there's different levels to real money, and I've seen stupid. I'm talking stupid money right now. Okay, some people don't know. They've never been around it. They've never seen it, so they hate on it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I feel like there's always a line that you got to walk, right? Even on this podcast, sometimes I fall off, you know what I mean? I just go off the deep end, but I always bring myself back. I know I'm a fucking professional. I know what I'm doing, right? But I also feel like there's other people in the YouTube world that do a pretty good job. But then they just have these associates, like they have the ones that they still support that are just the fucking worst, you know what I mean? And I always say, man, and I've been saying this, I don't know how many episodes in a row now, but you are who you hang around with. So Rob, if you're being as good as you are with this podcast and the information that you're dropping, and then I see you at Prehistoric Death fucking the next day and you're taking pictures and like, hey man, like living the dream, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, Rob, what are you doing, bro? Like I would be scratching my head, you know, but I see a lot of that stuff, man. And shout out to my boy Mark Bailey, man. I don't know if you know who Mark Bailey is, but Mark Bailey is a fucking gangster in this game, bro. Like ball python, rodent breeder, just super heavy. A lot of people know Mark Bailey, but Mark Bailey told me that most people in this fucking game have no spine, bro. And I'm sorry, Mark, if I'm saying this, but it is what it is. Like they don't like it. Like there's no trust in this shit. I'm talking in the biz, like when it comes to the business side of things and like, you know, loyalty with the money. There's it's all gone. It doesn't matter. And that's what I'm realizing. The YouTubers will stick to YouTubers. YouTubers will stick to the views. They'll stick, no matter what's going down, YouTubers will stick to YouTubers. And fuck, me, dude, I'll stick to the animals. I don't give a fuck. I will never cross money over the animals. I won't. I will never, to the day, you can mark everything I'm saying right now, to the day I die, the animals come first in my world. The animals come first before this podcast. Everything I do, the animals come first, other than my wife. Wife number one, then animals. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, brother. And I think that's probably why we get along so well is because we're not about all that superficial bullshit. You know, one of the other things, you know, you said money, but the other thing is like the fame. You know, holy shit, I was on Facebook and I got 10,000 fucking likes. Fuck you. I'm top dog now.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
That's a joke.
You know, like I don't want to put down social media because I think there's a good purpose for it. However, I think that as a society, we have totally fucking went the wrong way on that. It's all more like the negativity part of it and bullying. And I'm just not about that life, man. I want to be positive. I want to be happy. I want to do what I love and love what I do.
See, I'm gonna be a man and admit that I am about that life. I am toxic. I will fucking murder you. Like I have that mentality, but I don't want that though, Rob. Like understand, anyone who knows me, all my mentors, my boys, my best friends, they know I've come a long ways over the last 3.5, 4 years, bro. Like I've worked very, very, very hard. Like you know what I mean. And I just got to remember why I'm trying to change. And it's just so like when you're a certain way, like, cause they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, man. And that's almost true, man. Like my dad, God bless my dad. You meet my dad, you would understand MJ. That's all I got to say. Like my dad, fuck, that motherfucker ain't never changing, bro. Like he acts younger than me. He does, like he goes clubbing still. He fucking rolls up on his street bike. Like he's just that guy. Like my dad, God bless him, man. Like, and I'm just like, holy shit. Like, you know, like my whole life, my dad's been like my big brother. You know what I mean? Like just like my best friend. Like, you know what I mean? Like just, you know what I mean? But like, hey, at the end of the day, like I'm realizing what I want to be and who I don't want to be in this hobby, man. And I don't want to be a bully, bro. Like I don't, even though it's so easy to be. Like I gotta say, man, this is the first time in my life where motherfuckers are testing me to be a bully. Like I'm not literally they're putting me in thumbnails, like they're mentioning, and I'm like, what the and so like I'm just used to that. Like, okay, say anything about me and I'm gonna go off. But like, you know, like again, Mark Bailey, man, he told me you got to be a professional, man. People are always gonna test you, even in certain relationships. This thing about people like that you're close with in the hobby that just does something that's not right. It doesn't compute. It's like, why would they do that to me? At the end of the day, that's going to happen. People act funny. People fuck each other over. It's like, what are you going to do? You're going to go beat the person up? You're going to fucking, what are you going to do? Go throw it? It is what it is. You know, you got to be a professional about it. And I have that, like, I have it written down like everywhere. I just gotta stay professional, bro. And that's it, man. It's not easy. I can tell you that much, but you just gotta stay professional.
Well, I'll tell you this, man. I have struggled with anger my entire life, so I'm there with you, man. I'm there with you. You
Finally,
need me,
somebody. Can I have a
you
hug?
fucking call me, buddy.
Give me a hug.
I love
Give me
you,
a hug.
man.
Give me a hug. Give me
I
a
got
hug.
right at you.
Hey, Rob gives the best. He gives the best hugs, bro. Oh my god, they get a little juicy when he's drunk, but it's okay.
A little bit.
Just go with it. No, but goddamn, man, like it's funny, bro, because anger is something where if you don't notice it, it just gets worse. Like and like it becomes something where like something bad could happen. Luckily, nothing. I've done things I regret because of my anger, but I've nothing to put me in prison, nothing to fucking, knock on wood. I'm just saying, like, but I've noticed I'm able to catch it a lot quicker now. You know what I mean? Which is good, which that probably comes with maturity, I'm assuming, right?
Well, and I think it's also, if you don't mind me interrupting you, I think it's also what helped me is I tried to just keep saying to myself, and I'm not big religious. I'm not big anything. You believe whatever the hell you want. I don't give a shit. It's not me. But I want to be a better person. I'm striving to be that better person. So like I have a 45-minute ride to work every day. And during that ride, I take advantage of it. And I'm like, just remain calm. Yeah. Traffic is a huge stressor for me.
Right. So oh my God. I could only imagine.
Just calm. Yeah. Just relax. It's going to be okay. I do breathing exercises. Like you wouldn't know this about me unless you were sitting in the truck with me. But like I try to stay as calm as possible because one little thing and I'm blowing the horn and motherfucking people, and that's not the way to go through life. That's I constantly, one of the things was my wife had said to me is what if that was your mom driving, or what if that was your daughter driving? And those things stick with me, man. I think about those now. I try to think about that and say, you know what, the 2 seconds that it took to piss me off that person did whatever they did, it should only take 2 seconds for me to not be pissed off. Because it's an emotion, right? It's nothing other than an emotion. And if I can choose what emotion to have, I'm going to choose to be happy. Yeah. Fuck all that other shit. And that's just the way I like to do it.
And it's, I can't speak for all people with anger issues like myself, but I feel like at the end of the day, we don't want to be mad. Like we don't want to, like, let's say we like, here, check this out, right? Think about when we're so fucking pissed off when we get our way. It didn't help. It didn't help. Like, I'm still mad. I'm still fucking mad. You know what I mean?
And I'm not enjoying it now. I should be enjoying this.
Now it's annoying. Now it's annoying.
Yeah.
Now you're being nice to me, and I don't want that.
Well, fucking be nice to me.
Oh my God. Hit me.
Oh.
I'm serious, right? Bro. I'm talking about that. That's man. Fuck, bro. Like,
when your blood is boiling, there is, it almost is like nothing can stop it. You're just like, fuck this shit.
Dude. And one thing that my wife is good at now, and like, it's been a while since it's gotten to this point, but like, I get so mad where like, I can't I have to be alone. I have to be alone. Yeah. And like, it's like a Jekyll and Hyde thing. It's like, and it's crazy because how fucking red, and I could feel my face like it's on fire. And it's been like that a lot. I haven't gone like that in a long time. Thank God. And I really, what caused that stuff is like stuff I can't control. Like, I think the last time I felt like that was we were trying to buy a house last year, and there was all these things that we were trying to get together, and there was something that I didn't have, and like she was upset by it, and like I couldn't sleep over it, and like it was just like, oh man, like but like I know I don't have to feel, I don't have to get that mad. I let myself get that worked up, and that's the thing. Like you are in control on how mad. Being angry is that's a choice. Like that's like you're choosing to go that route. You know what I mean? It's but fuck, when you're just angry your whole life, it's like, dude, I've been angry my whole life. My whole life been a fucking anger. And I've had a good life. Yeah, things went wrong. Divorce and all my parents, but still, anger was a package deal for me, bro. Growing up,
I feel the same way, man. I feel the same way. I feel like, from as far back as I can remember, just being just so pissed that I didn't, like you said, I don't want to be around anybody. Don't talk to me. Don't call me. And when I was growing up, that was before internet and cell phones and stuff. So like, it was easy to just go out into the woods and look for snakes and shit. Right. Leave me alone. That's what I want to do. That's what calms me down. And honestly, that's what still calms me down to this day. If I'm really worked up about something, I go grab a snake and hold a snake for about 10 minutes. I'm fucking chilled. Yeah. I'm good.
And I feel like anyone, Good.
No, I was just saying it's almost like a therapy where you put that snake in my hands and I'm just watching it and I'm in awe over this thing. It has no arms and no legs, but yet it's fucking thriving out there, man. They've been around for forever, right? They're small dinosaurs or some shit like that, right?
This is all therapeutic, bro. And I feel like animals are here to help humans, man. And what's fucked up is humans aren't helping animals.
No, quite the opposite. We're fucking them every chance we get.
It's like, what are you doing? Stop it. But it's like, goddamn, even the best keeper cannot be the best keeper, bro. Like, it's just, we can't give these animals what they really genuine should have because they're not in their natural they're not home.
Yeah.
But
you have an island.
but listen, dogs came from fucking wolves. Like, understand, like, we're like, these pets are meant, like, humans need animals to cope with life, bro. Like, I wouldn't be where I was at without the animals, man. I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't realize my fucking issues. I wouldn't realize, you are angry. You can be a bully. You can fucking be all these things. Like, dude, if it wasn't for the animals, all this shit would have went by my head. I probably wouldn't be married. Who knows? I'd probably be with another fucking club rat getting cheated on right now. Like, who knows? Like, I don't know where my life would be if it wasn't for the animals, man. That's why I go so hard on this, bro. Like, I don't like this. I feel like the best thing I could give back to the hobby is by putting out these podcasts.
Oh, I think they're awesome. And I love what you do. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been like, hell yeah, I want to be on there. Force you to send me a shirt and all that stuff. Like, hell no, man. I love this shit.
Hey, dude, you still have this shirt I gave you at the U.S. ARC and you put it on right then and there? I remember that. That was great.
Yeah, in my bedroom right now.
I'm going to send you one of these, one of the new ones.
Ooh. I was looking at that earlier. I was like, I love that fucking logo. Where'd you get that logo?
I got you. I got it made. My my digital marketing manager, homie, Adler. Adler's a savage, bro.
Ooh.
You know Adler? You know Adler?
No.
Oh, Adler. Yeah, well, I'll introduce you. I'll connect you. That's my boy. Adler's cool.
Nice.
He actually, I don't know how you don't know Adler because he got a fucking Reach Out Reptile tattoo on him. Oh my God. Dude, can we talk about the tattoos, please? Oh my God. Okay. Is Garrett evil for that? Because, bro, Garrett doesn't have a tattoo. He will not get a tattoo. And he literally watched over how many fucking people got, like 30 people? I forgot. How many people got inked up out there by, like, what the fuck? That's crazy.
It was an ink session for sure, man. They just lined up.
Did you get one?
Right after another.
Did you get one?
No, but I kept telling people I'm going to get it on the bottom of my foot. And everybody was like, holy fuck, that's going to hurt like hell. I'm like, you want to do it?
Ouch. That has to fucking hurt, man.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
I mean, listen, I can't, because I don't know what, like, if I had like 20 people in line to get a fucking, like, I don't know how I would feel about that. But then also, like, why is that even a possibility? Like, why is there somebody with tattoo gear ready to put logos on people? He had to, that was his idea. Like, that was fucking obviously his idea. Like, I'm just like,
I think it came up at work one day. We were all kind of sitting there and I was like, I got tattoos and a couple of the other employees have tattoos. And we were like, would you get the logo tattooed on you? And I was like, fuck yeah. This is my dream job. Why the fuck wouldn't I? Yeah. I still don't have it, though. I've been doing this with him for 3 years now. I still don't have it. But like everybody was like, yeah, you know what? I would get it. And Garrett just kind of one day, he was like, well, if you get it, I'll pay for it. And I was like, I want my whole back.
Hey, look, Adler's saying you do know him. You guys smoke together.
Oh, well, that's how you explain it. Sorry, brother.
Dude, Adler, you gotta be more of a character, dog. Rob, you gotta out character Rob, bro. Adler.
We smoke together, Rob. All caps, Rob. Sorry, brother. There's a good chance we did smoke together. And we probably had a great time.
Maybe guarantee you had a great time. Okay, I want to bring up Retic Fest. Okay, I heard a lot of raving reviews about Retic Fest. How'd you feel?
Yeah, where were you?
Dude, I was in Canada. I was literally in Canada. I had a crazy fucking Canadian tour going on. Me and Matt Summers were in the deep countries of Canada, Eastern Canada. But dude, I'm not missing next year. I'm there next year for sure, 100%. Yeah. And I threw Trap Fest in July. It was just kind of, I'm not gonna throw Trap Fest in July next year because I do want to make it to Reach Out Reptiles, the party, because that's just, dude, what he's done to that facility. What's going on with that? Is that all done yet, or like everything done with how he wanted to do it, or what's going on?
No, we're still in the building process. So, the first thing is trying to get all the current snakes in the biggest cages that we can do, and try to encourage everybody else to do the same. So that's really where our focus has been, is try to get as many snakes in bigger cages as possible. As you probably know, this is breeding season, so we wanted to try to achieve that before we went and did upgrades to the building. So now things like that are going to start to happen once we finalize all the cages.
Okay.
And it's going to be crazy, man. Like, it's hard to see the dream sometimes, but holy fuck, is it going to be nice.
Dude, one thing that it kind of gives me anxiety, because obviously, like, people like Garrett and Justin and Miguel and all these people who are evolving and growing their stuff, like facilities, like gets me like excited, because that's going to be me someday. Like, but I know with all that shit comes with stress, like a lot of fuck, because it's like, fuck, like, like especially like caging and like moving around and stuff like that. But bro, it's such a journey, man. And because like you said, you're anticipating what's about to go down, and imagine once it happens, it's like fucking heaven.
Well, and it's kind of like, I don't want to make this comparison, but I will, just because, well, fuck it. Like Elon Musk had to invent shit to make the Tesla, right? He had to invent shit, not him personally, but his group of people that he put around him, right? In some aspects, that's what's happening right now at Reach Out Reptiles. Like, we're looking at the thermostats and we're like, there's got to be a better fucking way to do this, man. Right. We're looking at, the probes and stuff like that come on, these well-known thermostats, and we're like, if it only did this, or if it only did that. So like some of this stuff, we can only grow so big until, we hit the ceiling in those areas, and we got to wait for technology to catch up to what we want, or we have to go out there and figure out how can we build this or make this. Right. So some of that stuff is just going to come organically over time.
What has been your overall like thought on how quick the hobby's growing? I mean, you've seen, look at Reach Out, man. Like, god damn, look at the tattoos. Just kidding. No, I'm just like, dude, but like, holy shit, like it's growing, man, and you're a part of this. So I'm curious, how do you feel about that?
I have mixed thoughts, man.
Tell me, I want to hear it.
I'm always leery, because I don't want to piss people off. I don't want to offend people, because I want to treat everybody the way I want to be treated, right? So like, point in case, I love you, man. I'll tell you I love you every time I see you. I'll give you the biggest hug every time, because I want that too. You know what I mean? Thanks, right, brother. Yeah. And that's what I want to promote. I don't want to promote any of that negative shit. Right. Get that out of there. So like, I don't know. I just want everybody to be fucking happy. This is something that not everybody gets a chance to do. For me, this is my dream job. I was a CNC machinist for, I don't know, 13, 15 years, something like that. And I'll tell you what, man, you want to talk about some ball busting work. You're working 12, 16 hours. You're just fucking standing in front of a machine, typing in code, putting in fucking big pieces of steel and watching it fucking turn. Like, I enjoyed it. It was awesome. It made me money. It got me to where I was at. But my body's destroyed. I got bad feet, bad knees, bad elbows. I wrecked my motorcycle. I broke my collarbone and fractured my ribs. So I'm going through all that shit. I got frozen shoulder. Like, I'm beat up. Right. None of the snakes beat me up this bad.
Right. Not yet, at least.
Yeah, exactly.
But what's crazy, Rob, is like, I mean, you and I've had a heart to heart. I think, you told me your background, your story, and everything you have to talk about, to show the love that you carry today, comes from the animals, and it comes from your lady too. You're very passionate about her name's Lisa. Is that right? Is it Lisa?
That's correct, Lisa. She's
that's
in the
Lisa.
back room there trying to keep the dog quiet.
No, hey, you're a real one, Lisa. Thank you so much, man. I gotta say she's awesome, man. But I pay attention to what, like, if I find somebody who has a good light or good energy in them, like, I want to know what is it that makes you passionate, man. And I got a good idea what brings the light into your world, man. And what's cool is, like you said, you realize it, you notice it. Like, it's like, you know what you have. So why would you want drama? Like, why would you want to deteriorate that? Like, why would you want to even, like, it's like having someone piss in your pool. Like, why would you want pee in your pool?
That's like, I don't want pee. I don't even have a pool, and I don't want anybody pissing in it.
Can I be honest though? If it's my pool, I probably piss in it. I'm not gonna lie. So,
hey, you ever? I guarantee you come to my house and I have a fucking pool, and I'm drinking. I'm pissing in it, man.
It feels so good, especially when you're fucking hammered and you're just like, I gotta fucking pee, and there's a good conversation going on. Woo! You just like, and then you're like, oh, it's going down the right leg. It's like, what?
Why do you think they put bars in pools, man? Nobody goes to the bathroom at a bar pool. Go right there.
Let's be real, dude. Yeah. Hey, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you gotta be very weary with the Vegas pool parties. I'll tell you that much. I wouldn't go in that pool at all. Whew,
yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
There's not enough chlorine for that.
Do you?
But that's true, man. Like,
yeah.
If you were a lawyer, right, and that's your dream fucking job, and you go to school for it, and you're so dedicated to it, that's all you want to do. It's almost like you finally get that lawyer job, and you're like, you walk into work, and you're like, hey, boss, fuck you. Right. Why would you do that?
Right.
You've worked your whole life for this.
Right.
Enjoy it. Don't try to fucking come off like a hard ass, and
you just got hired.
Yeah. It's like the worst thing you could possibly do, right?
That's actually a good example, bro. Like, why would you want to do that? You know?
Yeah. Just, hey, everybody was new once. So let's not get mad. Let's just fucking, hey, this is my suggestion. His suggestion is going to be different. Listen to both of them. Make your own fucking mind.
Right.
You know, I don't know everything. I'm just a fucking dude that likes to breed snakes. That's it.
And if it's somebody I respect the most, that anyone I look up to that's been in this game long enough, and they say, I don't know it all, or I don't know everything, dude, we don't. Like, no, I don't, like, because it's fucking it's always evolving. Like, we're always going to be learning something we didn't know. And we're doing so many things wrong to where, like, we're eventually going to start fixing it one step at a time. You know what I mean? But dude, it's like, dude, humble, man. Like, you are not, like, listen, cool clutch, but that was the animal that did that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And what's crazy is, like, you guys, I don't see Reach Out Reptile being on a high horse, man. And I feel like the only reason why people out there has a problem with Reach Out Reptile is because of the growth of Reach Out Reptile. And people who aren't growing, check this out, Rob. People who aren't growing hate growth. Like, people who have been in this and just, they choose to do certain things, or they choose not to elevate, but they see someone who came in maybe way after them, and they're just like, phew, you know what I mean? Like, just, why are you mad at that? Like, what it's like, dude, this is about life. Like, life is a chess game. You know what I mean? Like, it's, and no matter what is it you do, like going back to, like, what Mark Bailey said, no matter what is it you do, be a professional at it. Like, just be a professional, be a fucking pro. Even at life, be a pro at life, be a pro at dealing with people, be a pro at business, just be a pro, all around pro. That's it.
And I just want to touch on that just a little bit. For people that think that, like, holy cow, it fucking exploded. It was the perfect storm in my mind. Garrett had an idea about 7 years ago and was like, you know what? I'm going to really try it. I want to start my own business. I think I can give it a go. And he put everything he had into it. And then I came along about 3 years ago and was like, hey, man, you got any side work? I just got laid off from my job. And he was like, yeah, but I probably don't have 40 hours. I got a couple hours I could do for you. I was like, great, that's awesome. Because we were friends.
Right.
And I think it was my first week there. He said, okay, I have 40 hours. And I said, no, you got about 80 hours, man. But I'm ready.
Right.
And it just kind of happened. I have 40 hours. And I said,
sorry about that. You're good.
No, that's all right. So it just kind of was that perfect storm. Like I said, he didn't know he was looking for somebody. I didn't know I was looking for that job. And when it kind of happened, we were like, holy shit, this could actually work. He didn't need be in the snake room cleaning up and breeding and feeding and doing all that stuff. He could focus on building the company and marketing, sales and whatnot. And he trusted me, which I'm very thankful for, that I knew what I was doing and said, here you go, man, do them. And I was like, awesome. And it's just been that yin and yang ever since. We get each other, we know what we're doing, and we do it.
Garrett taught me something, which I will never say what it is on the live, but Garrett, if you ever want to know what this is, call me and I'll tell you what it was, buddy. I love you to death. But Garrett,
I'm calling you right after.
Garrett taught me something, bro, that I implemented that changed my life forever financially in this podcast game. I'm not gonna lie. I'm dead. I'm talking like, holy shit, everything's changed. Stupid money. And I've been very blessed because of something I learned off Garrett. Garrett is the fucking man when it comes to marketing, when it comes to just, because listen, people need you for something. If you're something in this game, if you're something relevant, let me say that again. If you're something relevant in this game, people that are big in this game want you. They need you. Okay. So I got to say, Garrett Hartle, I'm not too close with Garrett. That's the thing. I am I see him at a show, I hug him, but I know how busy he is, but I don't talk to him every day. But every time I talk to Garrett, I learned something. And I'm like, holy shit, that just changed everything. He's just on another level, man. And I think
if he's watching it, he's just going like this right now.
I seriously admire the shit out of him, man, because guess what? At the end of the day, Garrett has done nothing for you to make him hate you, or for make you hate him. Garrett is not a bad person. Garrett's actually a fucking really genuine, honest person. Like, he's a fucking good guy. And guess what? I could read fucking bullshit, red flags, all sorts of shit. Garrett is just like, he's just like, like how he is in his YouTube. Yeah, just like, he's just fucking like, well, here's the, this is the thing, that's just, Garrett is just Garrett. Like, I just fucking love Garrett. There's no hidden agenda with Garrett. And I gotta say, man, shout out to Garrett fucking Hartle. He's like a Canova in this shit, man. Like, he's very on, like, look what he's done with the Super Dwarf game, bro. Like, and yourself, look who he was able to attain and team up with. And it really worked out, man, because listen, I didn't know that he was so off hands with the breeding. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was fucking you. You're the chef. You're the chef.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
No, it is. That's the fact. So you're the chef, bro. Like, you're literally the chef, and he's the fucking owner of the restaurant, just coming by and tasting the food and like, good job, I'm out. See you later. You know what I mean? It's fucking awesome.
And I'll tell you what, though, like, even if I am the chef, which I appreciate that analogy, he, like you alluded to, he is so smart. And I think that's what a lot of people don't know is that he is probably one of the smartest people I've ever met. I'll never tell him that to his face, because
he's ahead of the curve, man. He's ahead of the curve.
But yeah, I mean, for him to see what he's seen in me, because, I wasn't doing snakes full time. I had a couple of clutches. I'd seen him at a couple of local shows, and actually he hired me to build his cages. So I built all of his cages for him at one point. And that's kind of how we really started to hang out. Like, he was like, hey, do you mind if I come out and help you build the cages? I was like, hell yeah, man, I could use the help, plus you're paying me, let's do it. So, like, he's just,
dude,
he's wicked smart.
It's, so many things need to be going on for the stars to align. And what I mean by that is, this wouldn't have happened if Garrett was a piece of shit. Like, you wouldn't be around. You wouldn't be fucking, why would you be building cages for him? Why would you be being robbed for him? Why would you do that if Garrett was a piece of shit? And that right there just makes all the sense to me in the world. Like, like, you do sacrifices, which you don't even look at sacrifices, because how much you believe in what you're doing. Like, it's fucking, it's a part of the game plan. You know what I mean? But it also like, when you're the leader of something, when there's an industry and you're the leader of it, it's kind of lonely up there, man, because you're the one that you're proving shit out. Like, you're the one, you know what I mean? And you're always gonna have sticklers, bro. And Garrett's good at not paying attention to any of that shit. God damn, Garrett Hardy's a pro. He's a pro. He was like, you bring any kind of shit to him, he's like, I don't I don't compute.
Yeah, he's like, nah, I don't get it.
He shrubs it off, man. And guess what? That's being a professional right there. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, that's being a professional, bro. But listen, I got a wrap up question before we get into some hot seat questions here, okay? Because goddamn, this hour and a half went by quick, man. But we're gonna get getting another round in here soon, man. But
definitely, man. Anytime.
What's okay? Going back to advice, right? Like you, let's say that you and I are good friends and whatnot, and I have about 13 possibilities of having Retic clutches and whatnot, right? Being how the market is right now and whatnot, what is some advice for anyone out there who's breeding Retics with the current position of the market right now? We're about to head into a little bit of a downfall right now, that according to a lot of people. So how should people approach their breeding right now, or what's your advice for stuff like that? Go ahead.
I'm a firm believer in anything being quality first. Anybody can put two snakes together and get a clutch, in my opinion. Maybe that's kind of foolish to think that, but if everything lines up, boom, you get a clutch. I think it's way better if you take your time, you think it through, you do all your research, you buy from reputable people, you know that what you're getting is what you're getting, or what you're buying is what you really want, and raise those up the right way. Don't try to speed things up. I love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, but if I slap one together, it's the messiest thing in the world. If I take my time and I cut the crust off, I enjoy it so much more. And that's what I say, do that with your snakes. Find the perfect snake. And if it's out of your price range, save up for it. You buy this snake's going to live, 20, 25, 30, 35 years. Buy the one you want. Don't settle. Don't go, hey, I really want that orange ghost stripe, but I can't afford it, so I'm going to buy a Poss hog. No, save up. Get the orange ghost stripe. You know what I mean? You breed. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Don't scrimp on that.
Yeah.
And here's the other part. If you're paying whatever the amount is, fill in the blank for that animal, do right by that animal. Give it the right cage.
Right.
Give it what it needs. It's an animal. It doesn't know any different. And in saying that, when you go to breed these things, it's an animal. Anything can happen. And it typically does.
Bro, the peanut butter and jelly analogy, though, I pissed on the floor right now. It was so fucking funny. Like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was epic. Because it's true. Like, imagine if you're like, making this sandwich. And it's like, it's all sticky. And it's like, what the fuck? But if you go in one motion, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Like, you can even triple decker it. You can even put another bread in there. And I love it, bro. This was a classic episode. I love you, Rob. I knew it was going to be this way. I already knew it.
Thank you, brother. I really appreciate this. I really do.
I appreciate you. I can't wait to hang out with you again sometime soon. Let's see what's on the agenda. I mean, do you do Arlington? Or do you go to Arlington with Garrett or no?
I'm kind of getting away from doing the shows because.
No, not Tinley.
Yeah.
No, where am I going to see you then? Well, Retic Fest.
You got to come to Retic Fest, man.
All right, done. Oh, well, say less. I will go to
come out to Pomona. I'll come out to Pomona.
Come to Trap Fest. No, you're coming to Trap Fest this year. So is Garrett. Garrett promised me he would come to Trap Fest this year, and you're coming to Trap Fest 110%. It's gonna be
definitely.
Great.
I'm there. Right. You can't stop me from coming.
Let's go. All right, hot seat questions. Okay. Do me a favor, Rob?
Yeah.
Say the answers as quick as you can, man. No explanation. Let's get these going. You ready?
Oh fuck yeah.
Here we go. Hot seat questions for the homie Rob Rausch. Frozen thought or life?
Frozen thought.
A cut or no cut?
A cut?
Yeah. Would you ever cut an egg or would you never cut an egg?
Oh, cut.
Okay. On what day? Let's talk about Retic.
If you have them in a container, in a 1 egg pips, cut them all.
Red Chondro Neo or yellow Chondro Neo?
Red.
Favorite locality specific python?
Grompa.
Least favorite locality specific python?
Doesn't exist.
Wow. If you had to pick, okay, if you like, let's say God's like, I mean, there's 10, right? Isn't there 10 supposedly, right? There's supposed to be 10, right?
Of the dwarf and super dwarf, I think there's 7.
The SD stuff.
Oh,
7.
SD?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 10.
Okay, sure. So if you could think of one that needs to go, if you could think of just one that needs to go, what would it be?
I'm gonna catch a lot of flack. Slayer.
Wow. Okay, that hurts because I like Slayer, but actually, How My Hair is my favorite, so I'm not that mad.
Yeah.
Pre first shed meal or post first shed meal?
Post.
Yay imports or boo imports?
Yay, as long as it's done right.
It's either yes or no, sir. Please.
Oh shit, yeah.
One reptile you would import to your collection anywhere around the world, what would it be?
Oh, Sri Lankan. I don't think it's called Sri Lankan anymore, but Sri Lankan Burmese python in the Burmese family.
Beautiful. What about one reptile nobody should ever import ever again? Leave it alone. Don't touch it.
Komodo dragon.
Yeah, respect. Baseball or football?
Football.
Favorite Steeler player of all time?
Oh, Chad Brown.
Damn, respect. Really? Chad Brown, huh?
You know my Facebook page?
I've seen
See
it.
my picture?
You're very. I thought you were happier taking a picture with me, but no, I was wrong. You were a lot happier.
It's funny because I actually, whoever knows Steelers, I met Mike Tomlin, and he was on my Facebook profile. Me and him, I had lunch with him, and then when I met Chad for the first time, I was like, "Dude, if you don't mind," he was like, "Go for it." All right.
I think I will go ahead and say during this hot seat question segment here is that one of the iconic moments as a kid was realizing that NFL players liked big snakes. And I was at a Steelers game. Check this out. I was at a Steelers game, 13 years old. I was at a Steelers game. And Chad Brown was like fucking, he was on the Jumbotron, right? And it had him there with one of his Burmeses around his fucking neck. And he was all fucking cut. And I was like, oh my God. And then they did like a documentary on his house too. Like they I remember seeing on ESPN of them going to his house. It was like 2000 or something. I forget whatever year that was, but God damn, bro, I'll never forget that, man. Chad Brown's pretty iconic for that. All right,
he's a god.
Van Halen or Sammy Hagar?
Van Halen.
West Coast rapper, East Coast rap?
East, Eminem.
Favorite topping on a pizza?
Oh, pepperoni.
Yes, thank you. Little word association. First thing to come to mind. FedEx shipping.
Penis. Damn it.
You're a sick dude. Milk.
Oh, that's the word? White.
Yeah. White? Okay. Stuck shed.
Headache.
First time super dwarf Retic keeper.
Happy.
Reach Out Reptiles.
Love.
Super dwarf articulated python groups on Facebook.
Pass.
Oh, solid. Instagram trolls.
I have an Instagram thing, but I'm not on it. So go.
If you had to attend one show a year, only one show, reptile show, what show would that be, Rob?
Pomona.
Wow, let's go. Pomona in January. Bro, let's go. Hey,
January.
Yeah, it's January. And if you can make it in January, guess what? I can't spill the beans. I'll tell you after the show. I can't spill the beans just yet, but something big's happening at Pomona. Just want to let you know it's going to be big. But Rob, listen, we had over 60 people tapped into this episode. By the way, guys, let's get the likes up for Rob real quick. But what do you have to say to everyone who was tapped in tonight? Everyone taking their time out of their work day or chill day to watch this right now. What do you have to say to everyone out there, bro?
I have nothing but love for everybody. You want to talk to me? Reach out.
Literally. Oh my God.
I didn't mean to do that.
Did Garrett fucking pay you to say that? Hey,
yeah, I had to kind of fit that in 4 times this episode. How did I do?
Rob, hey, Rob, here's a Lunchable. Say this for me.
It was a big Lunchable.
Listen, Rob, your energy's unmatched. I got to say, thank you so much for this episode. round 2 will come in the near future. But that's a wrap for the homie Rob Rausch, ladies and gentlemen.
Love you, man. Appreciate
All right,
everything
bro.
you do, brother.
Appreciate you, man. I'll be talking to you soon, man. Thank you so much for your love and support, and I'll catch you later, Rob.
All right, brother.
Jeez, round 1 in the books. Rob Rausch, ladies and gentlemen. That is probably some of the best Super Dwarf reticulated content or retic content that I have brought to this channel in a fucking long time. And my boy Robbie Rob, Roushy Rausch, done murk that shit. Rob, I hope you smoke a fat joint tonight. You deserve it. That was a fucking awesome episode. Guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because guess what? There's an episode happening in less than 30 fucking minutes. Your boy don't stop. Let's go. Who's ready for this shit? Brock Wagner. About to come at you. Ball Python people, if you're watching, stick around for a little bit. I'm going to go get high. I'm going to get my coffee. I'm going to get stuff together. My energy's getting hotter. Let's go. Rob, thank you again. You're the fucking man, bro. I mean that. I'll see you guys in a bit. See you now.